New Delhi. While Australian PM Scott Morrison has said he will raise with his counterpart Narendra Modi Russia's invasion of Ukraine, an issue that dominated Japan's agenda with India in the summit on Saturday, Australia seems to have taken a more understanding view of India's balanced position, which apparently allows it to reach out to both sides to foster dialogue and diplomacy. Ahead of the virtual summit on Monday, Australian High Commissioner Barry O'Farrell said Quad countries have accepted India's position and that it wasn't going to affect cooperation among them. Australia is expected to announce investments worth Rs. crore during the summit on Monday, described by a diplomatic source as largest ever by Australia in India, in areas like space, clean technology and also in critical minerals, where Australia is looking to challenge China's control of the international market. The two countries are also expected to sign an early harvest or interim trade agreement by the end of this month. With growing strategic proximity, India and Australia also seem close to clinching the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, which they have been negotiating for the past 12 years, in late 2022. Asked about India's position on Ukraine, O'Farrell said Quad had accepted India's position and that each of the Quad countries had their own bilateral relationship with Russia and their own perspectives. We know PM Modi has called for an end to the conflict and nobody should be unhappy with that, he said. The remarks are significant as Japan and us have been pushing India to take a clearer position in the Security Council on Russia. Morrison was quoted as saying on Friday that the Ukraine situation and its implications for the Indo-Pacific and Myanmar will figure in his talks with Modi. He had said ties with India are based on mutual understanding and trust, a commitment to democracy, and a shared vision of an open, inclusive, resilient and prosperous Indo-Pacific. Australia sees India's decision to abstain from voting on union resolutions condemning Russia as in line with India's first PM Jawaharlal Nehru's policies on similar issues. Recalling India's no condemnation policy of the past, a throwback perhaps to Nehru's refusal to condemn the Soviet Union's handling of the 1956 Hungarian Revolution, a source said India has always worked to create space for dialogue and that even now nobody has accused India of supporting what is going on in Ukraine. In the summit with Modi on Saturday, Japanese PM Fumio Kishida had strongly taken up Russia's invasion of Ukraine and sought Modi's cooperation in ensuring President Vladimir Putin follows what the Japanese described as a free and open international order. While Morrison has threatened China with sanctions for any possible attempt to back Russia, he has been more discreet when faced with queries about India's position. Adblock test why.